down, Bears fans. We got a week 1 dub in the building. We got a new studio in the building. Or are we in a new building? Is that how that go? How's that work? Don't worry about it. We got Big Kid in the building. Squad is in here, man. Bears versus 49ers. We got the breakdown post-game show coming ahead here, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. As always, man, if you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Bears on Bears Talk, man. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Hey, listen, we got back in a stew out here, bro. It's crazy out here.
Yeah, well, I forget how loud this man is.
Hey, whatever.
I swear to God, it caught me off guard.
Y'all get what you get, man. Hey, listen.
Oh, God, it threw me off.
It is what it is, man. We in the building. Hey, first things first, let me get them bird dons in the chat. Let me get big bird dons in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all for showing so much love as always, man. Hey, let's jump into this, boys.
Let's do it.
We got a Bears win here in week 1. And I'm not going to lie to you, a lot of surprising things to start this one off.
What's the most surprising?
Most surprising thing, adjustments. We're starting off the game with adjustments. By the way, shout out to the producer squad in the building as well. We got the super producer Jay Holt in the chat.
What's going on?
What's going on with you, my boy?
What's going on,
gang,
fellas?
gang.
We also got Mr. AD in the building. Mr. Two Letters. If you knew better, you do better. Say who better? Nobody, bro. He's in the background, man. Listen, it's a good day to be a Bears fan. Like I said, a big thing to start things off for me is the adjustments that the Bears made in this game. More so, right, when you're looking at Fields versus Trey Lance. How do you feel this matchup started things off? I mean, I felt like we saw a tale of two halves.
Facts.
We saw a team that looked like they didn't belong in the NFL in the first half. Also crazy conditions.
Yeah.
And then on the second half of that, it seemed like everything really settled down offensively, right? And the Bears did a better job kind of getting themselves going offensively. How'd you feel about this game as a whole, kid?
Ugly game. I was very critical. If you're in the Discord, first of all, if you're in the chat, join the Discord. It gets popping in there.
Yeah.
I was very critical of the first half. And I'm still going to be very critical of the first half, simply because it was an ugly game. There was no reason why that game looked like Matt Nagy was still coaching. Hey, listen, play calling was the same. I was just like, good Lord. And you can't say it was just conditions, because Trey Lance, who we all thought probably shouldn't be the starting quarterback for the 49ers, so it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
He was slinging that thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't sit there and say, oh, the conditions were so bad that Justin couldn't throw. Yeah, that's a lie. You're just being a homer at that point. The conditions were good enough for him to sling that thing. And I'll be honest with you, Trey Lance looked like he got that thing.
You know what?
It had snap on it.
I don't know if I can say that, right, the conditions of things and everything don't play a part in it. You definitely got to say they played a part in it. While Trey was able to move the ball well, right, I think that Trey Lance did some really good things moving the ball. You saw it affect him as well. Listen, there was a couple of touchdowns in there that you would have looked at if it was Jimmy G in there, and we probably don't come out with this game. To me, right, this was a game when you look at young players of young mistakes and then young improvement. I tweeted this out early, right? You look at that first quarter. A surefire a deep pass. Lance puts it right on, was that Debo, I think it was, got out there deep. And Brisker and Kyler Gordon just ran into each other, didn't know what was going on, kind of run into each other, mess up the play, easy there. Gordon pushes them out of bounds. Very next play is the fumble. Jalen Johnson punches it out. All of a sudden, you see Jaquan Brisker on top of it. We go back. Trey Lance misses an easy touchdown pass down the field. Dominique Robinson's the one that makes him pay for it. So I looked at today's game as a game that was filled with mistakes. But here's the thing. Can I say that it was filled with mistakes because the conditions weren't there? I can't say that. I can't say that Trey Lance played great through those conditions and not say that he didn't also struggle through those conditions. I think it was just an up and down from everybody in this game, to me, honestly.
Yeah, you know what? I think one of the things I was always critical about is just how is Justin going to have the chance to develop? And that's just the biggest thing. I don't care what the end of the score was. My thought was, hey, is he going to have the protection? Is he going to be able to build confidence? Are we going to be able to do any of those particular things to allow him to actually be the guy heading into next season, which we got 40-something million available.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, if he's not the guy, that's QB money. Pay somebody. You know what I'm saying? My biggest thing was that. I don't care about anything else. I knew that we had a lot of younger players, a lot of people on these one-year deals. I knew it was going to be ugly in so many respects, but did we have enough for Justin to get the development that he needs?
Yeah.
And for a while, it didn't look like that. It didn't look like that until mid-third quarter.
I think the interesting thing when you look at Fields and Lance, right, to me, is you kind of saw them both adjust. And again, I said that word adjustment, right? You saw them both adjust as the game went on. I think that was the most interesting part. You know what I mean? Justin Fields looked awful in the first half. Justin Fields looked like he couldn't play football in the first half. But also right conditions playing into that. But I still got to kill Justin.
Was he awful or was it play?
No.
It was a combination of everything.
Awful, right? Combination of everything, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. While there was some interesting play calls, right, the play calls speak to what the offense said it was going to do. This was a run-heavy style offense. I saw Bears fans on Twitter. Why are we running it on third down? Welcome to a run-heavy style offense. Welcome to run-heavy football.
I mean,
you may not like it.
I agree with you on some of it, but I mean,
listen, you may not like it. It may not look like, oh my God, this is sexy football.
I think
blah blah.
Yeah, but we ran it on 3rd and 8 multiple times.
But you gotta build a rhythm.
That's
gotta
run
build
heavy.
a rhythm.
That's run heavy. Whether
My
it's
thing
3rd and
was-
8 or not. In 3rd and 8, you know what you run on the run heavy offense? A draw.
You do something creative. My problem was just I'm fine with it being run heavy. It's just they knew exactly what was going on. They were jamming. They were in the backfield a lot of times, so it was very predictable. It's let's get something. I don't want to see the same thing. Is it a Bears curse that every offensive coordinator comes here and we look exactly the same almost on offense? This is getting pathetic. I thought we were going to see – we knew we were going to see – I predicted more of a Baltimore-style run heavy, but at least we didn't see Kmet do anything. Now – granted,
Was he on the floor?
Conditions.
Granted, the
condition.
rain was a thing.
It's
I
the
get that,
conditions.
but still, that's what guys get paid millions of dollars to do.
But here's the thing, right? I can't credit other guys who have made the decision to say, and listen, the Bears did throw the ball in this game, right? I can't credit other guys and say, you did a great job calling this game. I really like how you called this game because you didn't put your team in a bad position to consistently make bad plays and not praise how the Bears called this game today. The thing for me with how the Bears called this game today is it was based on the conditions. Justin dropped back to throw passes. It's not like Justin didn't drop back to throw passes, right? But how Justin dropped back in that first half at a minimum to throw the pass was he threw it into poor coverage, or he made the wrong read, or he wasn't analyzing the game as well in that first half. So as we get to the second half, to me, right, that's kind of where I look at and I say, okay, how's he developing? How's he moving in the right direction? All of a sudden, we start seeing Justin make the right play. We see Justin looking more comfortable, granted adjusting to the conditions that were out there, it looked like a little bit more. And honestly, I think the biggest thing for me that you saw Justin do was all of a sudden he seemed a lot more comfortable using his feet to get out of the pocket. It seemed like he was trying to mentally tell himself, and I saw this a couple of times in the first half, right? And you saw it some in the second half, but not as much. It was like he was trying to mentally tell himself, hey, I have to stay in this pocket and be a quarterback. And in the second half, it looked like he was saying, oh, I don't have to just sit here. I can move around. I can get out of here. I can make this play with my feet. I can make this play even if the pocket collapses. And I think that's when you saw the Bears really start to take off. Also, I think God's a Bears fan this season because listen, you can't tell me that you didn't see when the Bears scored their 3 touchdowns, that rain lightened up a little bit, just enough, right? And then as soon as the San Francisco 49ers are going back out the other way, it's just a deluge coming down.
2 things, though, and I'll say this. For me, I thought Trey was better prepared for this game. He looked better in the pocket. He looked better when the pocket collapsed. He looked better making the actual plays on the ground. He just looked better. He did. That's a hard take.
I don't think so. I personally don't think so.
I looked at that. I was like, oh, man, this is tough. And that's why I said I felt bad for him, because I feel like, hey, they prepared him and they have the personnel around him to help him do that. Who's the veteran QB that's going to help Justin Fields?
I'm gonna be real with you. The veteran QB in San Francisco isn't helping. Did you hear that on the TV? Well, she said Jimmy G's giving him a wide berth. He's giving him a lot of space, but I'm sure if he needs Jimmy, he'll come over there and help him. Jimmy was not next to Trey Lance.
I heard quite the opposite, to be honest with you. I heard quite the opposite.
Where?
NFL Plus. The commentation was different.
That ain't what Pam Oliver said.
Hey, I don't know what Pam was looking at. Maybe Pam was smoking because that ain't what I heard or saw, to be honest with you. But even with that, it's still Jimmy G.
Yeah.
We don't have a Jimmy G caliber pro quarterback in the QB room.
I wanted to see more progression. Maybe I don't know how much of this was that the rain was really so much of a factor, but it just looked like if the broken down defensive plays didn't happen, it's just 3 and out. So I was hoping to see maybe some sense of not having to always use his athleticism, which we do appreciate.
Yeah.
But there was nothing like read 1, read 2, read 3. It was just like just wing it,
But you know what? Here's my thing with
when he did just play football.
And when you in a game like that, you have to.
You just let him play football.
There's no option. I'm not going to kill Matt Eberflus in his first game for saying we're not going to put Justin in a ton of positions to make poor plays. We're going to keep it as simple as possible. I credit Luke Getsy for this, right? We're going to keep it as simple as possible. We're going to run the football no matter what. He said that before the season. He's saying that now. I looked at this offense today as this is the offense that's going to get you through a game like this. Not this is the offense that you're going to see all season. These conditions were unheard of. Also,
good Lord, that field looked trash.
Bro, but here's
that field was
trash.
Listen, this is what I was.
The field was already trash.
No, this is what I was gonna say, and this is what me and AD kind of talked about on the way up here, right? Like, this was the better of the two options. The field held water; it turned into a pool. All of that. Did you see grass pop up today?
Can't say I did.
How many injuries did we see today?
None.
No.
We saw a
one
couple.
of the San Francisco guys came up a little banged up.
It's two.
Two of them. This was the better of the two options. And that's crazy. That's why the Chicago Bears are leaving Soldier Field. But that's a whole side note in itself, right? Here's the thing that I want to break down. Let's get into this, right? Let's get into some of the game. I feel like those are our let's just throw our mind out there. How do we feel? Rapid stuff. So let's start here.
You want some stats?
Let's get some stats. Let's give some credit to the Bears getting a dub and what led to that dub. So what are we looking at Bears-wise in this game stat-wise?
All right, let's start with obviously our QB. 8 of 17, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. Herbert did more than I thought he was going to do. 9 carries, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. Thank God for that touchdown. He's on my fantasy team, by the way. Justin ran had 11 carries, 28 yards. Yeah. David Montgomery, 17 carries, 26 yards. And then from the receiving core, our leading receiver was Pettis, unbelievably. Did you expect that?
No, I'll say this. I didn't expect it.
Well, he only had one touch. One reception. It was 51 yards.
But he's the guy. He's that kind of player, right? Like I think he'll work his way into Justin's repertoire more often. But also the thing that you said that's huge there: 17 passes. Welcome to your run-heavy style offense, Chicago Bears fans.
I hope that's not the case.
I've said this all preseason. Nobody want to believe it. He's going to throw the ball 20 to 25 times.
It's not going to be on him. He's still learning this offense. This is his second offensive scheme in the second year, right?
Yeah.
And so you got 2 good running backs. I'm not surprised. I mean, I figured if you look at the stats of what Green Bay did last year with what was it? What they had? The 2 running backs they had.
Aaron Jones.
From scrimmage, they both were like 1,000-yard each from scrimmage. So it's like we're going to have a similar offense kind of like that.
No, 100%. 100%. And that's what I've said the entire time, right? Like I think a lot of people think Justin is going to drop back and do so much and we're going to see all this offense come through. And at the end of the day, right, I'm telling y'all, it's going to look very much like what Jimmy G looked like with the 49ers.
I can see that.
It's going to look very much like what Jimmy G looked like with the 49ers. I
will say this. I'm surprised. Not really all that surprised. Let's give credit where credit is due. 49ers have a good defense.
Absolutely.
So
it's a good defense on top of
rain
one of the
conditions.
Worst games we've ever seen.
On top of a new system, on top of a battle line. Like, it's a whole lot going on here. they didn't send him out there to get killed like they did last year in the Browns. Yeah. All right, so I really do appreciate that. I did not expect Mooney to only have one reception. Mooney got shut down.
I think it's, again, when you give 17 passes, right? Like, how many times you go into the backfield? How many times are you going underneath? Even when the game plan is full, Mooney's
even last season he wasn't a deep. They didn't throw deep. He was all.
But now he's your number one option. You know what I mean? So, like, he's going to make more of those deep runs. You saw him.
Cole Kmet did
the pick that Justin threw to basically nobody was to Darnell Mooney, and he was just in a sea of 6.
It was a lot of jerseys around that, man. I looked at that. I was like, good Lord, that's a bad throw.
There was a lot of traffic in there, man. Shout out to the Super Chat as well in the comments. We are watching the comments, man. I know a little bit different setup, man. We still getting some things worked out. This is our first time in this studio, so it's a couple of things that we got to add to it. But shout out to Tana in the chat. Said, great comeback, great discipline, great halftime play call adjustment.
Absolutely.
Good start to the season. What's up, fellas? I think that's probably right. Even with all the stats that we see, to me, that's the biggest thing that we saw.
You know what this says? If Matt Nagy just made a few adjustments, he'd probably just still be the coach. Because the game didn't look that much different. I'll be honest with you. The game didn't look that much different.
Matt would have lost this game by 4.
This team was a much better disciplined team outside of the kicker wiping the grass and.
I still didn't know that was a thing.
What was the exact call?
I think so. Basically,
you can't manipulate the field.
No, you can't. No, you can. You can't wipe off the tee. You can't bring in an object that's not a part of your person. So if they had used like the kicker towel that you like tuck into your back,
so why didn't he just tuck that thing?
He threw stuff on the.
I don't know. Right, and then he took it and just threw it on the field.
Yeah, but I see them throw that towel all the time.
Yeah, but he threw it on the.
Yeah,
on
but
the
it's
field.
not.
They could have tripped over that.
Right, it's not a towel that's a part of his person. Right, like if you use that and you tuck it back in your even for him, right? If he had tucked it in to his waistband, it doesn't become an inanimate object on the field.
I feel like they just kind of there was ticky-tack on that one, dog. Because I done seen that towel get thrown 1,001 times. Like, what is that on the field? Oh, that's the towel they just wiped off the thing with.
It could have been.
I've seen it 1,000 times.
It could have been. But I think.
But the rule was you can't manipulate the field.
It's so egregious, though. Yeah, I mean, like, the towel's literally sitting there. Like, if somebody runs wide, they slipping on the towel. Like, at least throw it behind the kicker. And the major thing is, right?
Wasn't it a field goal?
It was on a field goal. And the major thing
So it's not like a punt? I can see it on a punt because they got to run past the towel.
Yeah, but no,
that was a field goal.
No, here's the thing, right? If you say he misses the field goal and somebody catches it, or they grab it straight off of the kick, they can run that back. And if you slip on the towel, now all of a sudden we in the towel bowl.
So the size of the towel was really the matter because you just said the same thing that you just said if you use the kicker towel, he was still gonna throw it because he ain't got time to tuck it.
You gotta tuck it back in.
It can't be on the field. That was a beach towel that was out there.
Right, that was a beach towel. That was a sideline towel for sure. But it was on the field, right? It was on the field. If he tucks it back in, like literally tuck it in your waistband. All you're doing is catching and putting it down.
Maybe he didn't want to be soggy. I don't know.
Hey, listen, you should want to be a little bit soggy. Look like you played in the game, right? Like you're holding the kick.
If you saw the Pittsburgh game though, then you have a lot of appreciation for the kicking team from now on.
Oh, my God, bro. That's a whole different thing.
McPherson missed the kick simply because the long snapper and everybody didn't have the laces right. Like, today, you got a real first-class, like, lesson in why the kicking team is important. Because the Bengals should have won. That's a different story, though. Shout out to Mitch.
We'll get to that when we get to around the NFL, right? But here's the thing, right? Like, how do you feel about our coaching staff after? I mean, this is the perfect game to evaluate your coaching staff. Let's talk about Flus. Let's talk about Getsy. Let's talk about Allen Williams. How did you feel this game was coached?
Good adjustments. That's all I can say. Good adjustments.
That's major.
I mean, no, it's major.
If major.
It's major.
You're saying, that's major.
It's major. At the same time, I also can't give them. Even if it stayed the same in the first half, we really don't have the personnel. Like, for all the intensive purposes, the Niners are a better team. They have better players.
They have a Super Bowl caliber.
They have a Super Bowl. Yeah, like, we're not going to go to the Super Bowl. If we do, guess what? Long shot. You made a lot of money, right?
No, here's
you expect them to kind of get close.
They lost a lot of those players that make them a Super Bowl caliber team, though. This game with George Kittle, to me, completely different game. No George Kittle. You lost, was it Williams, the running back, early in that game.
Somebody.
That's big. Elijah Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
That's big.
No, it is. Not disagreeing
So
at all.
no, I think that kind of even the playing field.
But sometimes
Trey Lance.
Your coach is only as good as the players on the field at times too.
Yeah.
You know, like as much as we love to give Mike Tomlin the credit for never having a losing season, he had some really good freaking players along the way.
Nah, he had some impressive seasons. He shouldn't have been fired. That Mason Rudolph season, he shouldn't have been fired.
He had a Hall of Fame QB most of his time too. So I mean, like come on now, Hall of Fame QB is gonna give me 8 wins. I don't care what nobody says. But no, all jokes aside, it's just a refreshing thing to see adjustments being made.
Yeah.
Half after half, because we are so accustomed to, okay, that didn't work the first quarter, but maybe if we do the same thing, it's going to work this time.
Yeah.
That's what we're used to, and we didn't get that. So I feel good about that part.
It's the keep going mode. You know, I think I want to say it was Olin Kreutz. He was talking about that with Lovey. You know, when Lovey would run his offense and stuff like that, he'd be like, "Oh, just keep on, dude. We're gonna keep going at it, and eventually we're gonna break through." And honestly, that doesn't work. Because the team on the other side is adjusting.
Yeah.
So you have to adjust, and I think like not only did the Bears adjust their game plan going into that second half, but to me, I think that you have to talk about the fact that they adjusted their mindset of what they were trying to do. They weren't trying to just dominate the game one way. They were trying to all of a sudden, okay, let's infuse some play action. Let's infuse a little bit of not only just Montgomery, let's get Herbert more involved. I think we saw Herbert more involved in that second half than at any point in the game. And then with Justin, right, the stark difference to me is that somebody had to, I don't know if they told him or if all of a sudden he was just comfortable. Maybe it was a mental difference, but I feel like Getsy had to have that conversation with him of, it's okay for you to move. It's okay for you to use your athleticism. It's okay for you to get outside the pocket. Because I feel like we didn't see much of it early in that game. And in the second half, Justin was just like, it ain't there. I'm going to roll out. I'm going to try and make a play.
I mean, I'm glad that we saw it, because if you were in the Discord, you know, I'm seeing Trey Lance run for like 10 yards. I'm like, I know Justin wants to have the opportunity to. He just don't have the opportunity to. And all of a sudden, the field clears up a little bit. The sun shines a little bit. Now he's running. I'm like, hey, listen, I love it. Who was our DC again?
Alan Williams. I was gonna ask you. That's a clip in itself right there. Who's our DC again? What's he doing?
All right, no. All right, so there you go. Our DC right there. Guess what? Great job.
Yeah,
great job.
I'll say this as a whole. Listen, hits sounds cheesy. The Bears implemented hits today.
Yeah.
The Bears implemented the hits principle today.
Yeah.
To perfection. Alan Williams and Coach Flus have that defense, to me, playing outside of where I thought they would be. I thought there were some mistakes that didn't get capitalized on because Jimmy G's not in there that saved us.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 easy touchdowns that should have been there because Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker got a little bit mixed up. But Eddie Jackson with a pick six. Or, I'm sorry, not a pick six, with a big pick off. Punch out by Jalen Johnson. Your veterans show you that, I know, left-handed, off-handed punch out, bro. That was crazy.
Timing on that
Your
is
veterans
impeccable.
are showing you that they have the ability to buy into this. And if we see that from them, I think that's going to push this defense higher than what I thought it was going to be this season. Now, of course, right, this is game 1. Very weird game. We're going to keep saying that. Like, rain everywhere. Very weird game. But, like, I think that's seeing Jalen Johnson and Eddie Jackson and Robert Quinn and those mugs get in there and implement that principle. I think Alan Williams and Flus have really started this defense off on the right foot.
Interestingly, go ahead.
Me? Oh, I was going to say, I think that they were very a disciplined team. So I thought it worked out pretty good just to see them out there handling their business. So I like the composure that they have. As they said, the penalties, if I'm correct, were 12 penalties for 99 yards and three penalties for 26 for the Bears in the rain.
Shout out to Baki always being on point with it, because that was exactly where I was trying to go. Dominique Robinson, 2 sacks, rookie.
Sixth round for Dominique Robinson, right?
Hey.
Polls know what he's doing.
Yeah,
Foles know what he's doing.
This is
late in the draft he does.
Hey, Dominique Robinson was.
Although Brisker, I like
Brisker.
I like Brisker. I like Brisker
Early in the draft.
I like Brisker. I will say this though. I still think we should have went receiver second round, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna get off that soapbox because Justin still ain't got nobody to throw to. Anyway, so Brisker looks really good though.
But you know what? This defense, we've lived this Lovey's cover 2 defense. So this is the type of defense where honestly, after any bad quarterback, we typically beat the bad quarterbacks with this type of defense.
Yeah.
So you gotta, if the safety's in place, we're starting to get that team put together. I mean, for the most part, we should be successful with that defense.
No Roquan on the stats?
I have Roquan in my fantasy squad. He did quite well.
Roquan played well.
I think he had a half a sack, and some tackles.
I got a half a sack.
Points.
Half a sack, 7 tackles. Sorry, never mind.
Well.
Hey, listen. My bad, Roquan. Hey, listen. Pay that man his money, cause 7 tackles, 2 assists, and a half a sack.
1.5
Yeah, Roquan. I am Scos in the chat said 1.5 sacks.
His play isn't the issue; it's his negotiating.
I also kind of agree with that because the contract that I saw, I was like, I mean, I guess I see why you don't want it, but it's not a bad contract. Like,
you saw the contract? What was the contract?
Basically, what was it? It was going to be $95 million, but it was backloaded. The backloaded is the reason he didn't want it, basically. And,
right, because he wasn't going to get the guaranteed money.
And it's got de-escalators in it. So it didn't have the guarantee that he wanted.
But the de-escalators were something that was
the de-escalators to me will forever be disrespectful. But I mean, also, again, I've said this a million times. Like, I'm not worried about the Bears going out there and getting another linebacker. It's not 36 inches, but it's still quite a bit of bear head behind me.
I knew that phrase was going to happen at least once. At least once I knew it was going to happen.
But no, I mean, listen, I look at this coaching staff, and going into this Packers game, right, and by the way, it's always a good week when it's a Bears dub and a Packers loss, but the Packers looked atrocious.
I didn't see the game.
The Packers looked atrocious. Like, I thought Aaron was joking when he said, like, they can't catch. I thought he was like, you know how Aaron likes to troll Bears fans and stuff like that. I thought he was joking when he was like, they can't catch.
Oh, Lord.
They can't catch.
Jordan Love got in the game?
They can't catch.
It was that bad he got in the game?
He might have just got in on like a snap run or something like that.
Well, he threw 5 things.
Oh, maybe he got in at the end. No, like they can't catch, bro.
Yo,
so,
we need
crazy.
Commandant Lazard. That's their number one.
Lazard is their only option at this point, which is a little bit concerning. But
I also have him on my fantasy squad.
I picked up Sammy Watkins. Looks like I should be dropping him.
I'm gonna be real with you, right? Like I don't think that will be the entire season. I don't even know if that will go into week 2. But it felt good to see the Packers struggle that mightily, and Aaron Rodgers just cussing people out on the sidelines. I loved it. But here's the thing, right?
Well, we got them next week, so don't say that too
right,
loud.
yeah,
all right?
Because
he'll roll in here and still own us for some odd reason.
Well, we're going there.
Well, we're rolling there, but still we owned. Okay,
here's the one thing that I look at with this Bears team, at the coaching staff going into Green Bay next week. They realized that there was an issue that their team couldn't handle, and they put them in a position to succeed. We haven't seen that in Chicago since Lovey on defense.
Really?
I mean, what coach put their team in a position to succeed?
I'll be honest with you. I thought 2018 Matt Nagy was very goated. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened.
I just think
2018 Matt Nagy was actually he was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie to you. 2019 Nagy is like, what the heck happened?
Yeah. They figured it out. They literally said, we're going to put a spy on Mitch, and there was no fix on it. But I think, right, like that's the fact that the Bears in week 1 looked at, granted, an easy situation for even us to say, you probably shouldn't be throwing the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
And they looked at Justin. They saw he had some early mistakes. They said, listen, we're still going to get you out in space. But they didn't force the issue. The Bears were down 10-0. And it looked like they had no way to move the offense. Justin Fields went into the half with 19 yards.
That's crazy. I saw that.
He went into the half with 19 yards. That's why I look at, right, his second half, and I say, yeah, the yards in there, but when you don't play a half of football, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it. So I look at Justin Fields with the yardage and what he got, how he was able to adjust. And I look at this Bears defense and how not only did they adjust, right? They were playing well in the first half for the most part, but just not well enough to put the Bears close enough, I guess, to score touchdowns easily. In the second half, right, we get a drive that starts at, the 15? We get a pick that's going the other way from Eddie Jackson. We get, was there a fumble again in the second half as well, I believe? So, like.
There's a lot of penalties that helped them.
And the penalty, but here's the.
It helped them out big time. It gave them momentum shift. Because, like, even the national media was sitting there tripping.
Yeah.
It's like, it was more like the 49ers lost the game more than the Bears won.
And I can't say they were wrong. That's the part that kills me. I can't say they're wrong. It's part of the game, though, so you can't take away the win. Hey, being disciplined is part of the game. You gotta make sure your people are on point. Yeah. However, this doesn't feel like one of those situations where, like, we did so great, because we didn't.
But you know what? Here's the thing. I say we played smart football. Sometimes conservatives' football is smart football. Whether the 49ers – see, here's the thing. If the Bears had played that game, we would say they're an undisciplined football team. We would say that – our quarterback didn't do enough to put us in a position to win. We would say that our coaching staff didn't put us in a position to win. And that they didn't do enough.
I wouldn't have said that about them.
We absolutely said that last season. We said that multiple times last season. When the Bears had those low yardage, a ton of penalty games, right? Like, they looked like the 49ers looked like an undisciplined football team today.
Their defense did, yeah. Their defense
Justin Fields, while he's clearly sliding, like the first one, a little iffy. First one to me was a little iffy. But the second one where he literally lands on Justin as he's like deep into a slide.
It's happened 3 times today, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When I look at stuff like that, those are the things that I look and I said that's an undisciplined football team. When you see the false starts consistently happening, that's an undisciplined football team. And listen, that's a team that's on the road as well. It doesn't mean they'll be that way the entire season, but at least in week 1, they were undisciplined. And to say that the 49ers gave us the game, to me, that's saying, right, like they didn't do anything on defense to try to stop us. Justin still had to put the ball in the end zone.
Justin was still sacked a bunch of times.
He was still sacked a bunch of times. Nick Bosa's on the other side.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So how many yards off the penalty, or what is the stat? Is it yards off the penalties or scoring off the penalties did the Bears actually do?
I don't know how many.
Well, we had 12 penalties. They had 12 penalties for 100 yards.
For 100 yards, basically. So, I mean, you basically gave us
a touchdown,
a full football field, a touchdown.
And they took it's a tribute. We can attribute some of the success to the Bears taking advantage of those penalties. Normally, some of those we would have drove all the way down to the red zone, kicked a field goal, and that'd be that, or got 0 points. So now that the fact that we actually may have gotten a tutty from at least one of those penalties and a decent drive was pretty good.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the difference, right? Like, we kicked one field goal. Well, we were going to kick one field goal. We were going to kick one field goal.
But we were only in position to kick one field goal. Let's not cap and make it.
No,
that's
all 3 of our touchdowns were in the red zone.
That was a sleeper in the first
quarter.
quarter.
Was in the red zone.
The deep one, the Pettis wasn't in the red zone, but our other 2 touchdowns were in the red zone.
That was like the second half. We were trash.
That's what I'm saying.
We didn't score in the first half.
Trash.
But we didn't score in the first half.
But because it was trash.
No, I understand. I understand that, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna kill the Bears for adjusting at the half and winning the game.
Well, no, that's a good
crazy.
Job. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
We've always won.
That's crazy. But I think the difference is, right, like, you were down 10-0. Not only did you score 19 points, but they didn't score again. Like,
that's the
whether we can say Trey Lance looked better in the rain or he played better than we expected him to play. And I think, listen, both Justin Fields and Trey Lance should come out of this and say, based on what the heck we were in, by the end of that game, it literally was a swimming pool. Based on what we're in right now,
they played a good game.
I feel like I played an okay game. Trey Lance, I think he put his team in a couple of bad positions. He had a couple of overthrows where he could have gotten the job done, but he's also in the second year, and it's one of the worst conditions, and it's in conditions that he hasn't played in. They literally said on the broadcast, like, he's played in more snow games than rain games in his life. So it's new conditions all the way around. I'm absolutely not going to kill the Bears for coming out of this one because they played more disciplined and even though maybe more conservative, moved the ball better than the 49ers did. Like, we can say, like, they gave this game to us, but, like, I would say there's not a lot of games where I could look at and be like, yeah, you had 100 yards of penalties.
Let's be real.
And you didn't get this game.
When we did the schedule and we picked our picks for the season, we said that we're going to win a game we shouldn't win. We're going to lose a game that we shouldn't lose.
I said we're going to win 2.
You said we're going to win 2 games we shouldn't win.
I do think we're going to lose to the Commanders, which I'm
I don't know about that.
That's my loss. That's my loss.
I thought we were going to lose to the Niners.
Yeah.
We won that game.
Yeah.
Great.
I had a feeling that we would win, but I didn't think it was going to be like the way we won. I thought it was going to be like they came out the bag and they, Justin hit him with 200, and then 50 yards rushing and then, dump offs and check downs. And Cole Kmet got 100 yards receiving. That's what I thought.
I'm going to be real with you.
Well, Justin had 30 yards.
I'm okay with that not happening, though. I didn't want to see Justin running football in this as much. Even as much as he did, I was like, hey, dog. Like,
that's the thing now.
Get out the pocket. But, like, it's wet out here. Like, I don't want you to get hurt.
That's the thing now.
He still needs to practice sliding, by the way.
It's
better.
No.
But he needs to practice sliding.
What is it about Justin to get these late hits? Because he slid.
No. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell y'all why this works to the Bears' favor. This is a long-term play. I don't like how he slides because, like, defenders still come in, but eventually, right, he'll be a quarterback that clearly early in the season he's getting these calls. Later in the year, this will benefit the Chicago Bears based on how he's sliding. Because if he goes to make those shifty moves that are real low to the ground, ones are going to be like, is he giving himself up? And he'll be able to get more yardage off of that. Is it cheese ball? Is it irritating that defenses can't hit quarterbacks and stuff like that? Yes, it is. I hate that the NFL is this way now. But Justin, because of how he slides, NFL, you're going to see next week the adjustment is going to be, do we hit him? And that slight hesitation, Justin has enough athleticism to keep
Man, I'm going to tell you this. Every time Justin goes for that slide, he gets that helmet-to-helmet hit.
They try to kill him.
Hey, I don't care. That's not a good game plan, my boy.
Listen.
Listen. That's not the keys to a long career.
Though.
Okay.
It won't last, though. You know why? Because that cost them 45 yards there.
Hey.
Somebody's going to look at that next week and they're going to say, or the Packers are going to look at that next week and they're going to be like, listen, if you see him go down, you have to hold up. That little bit can break Justin for more. It can keep people off of him. And Justin wasn't getting those calls last season.
He wasn't getting those calls last season. But I tell
That's
you what,
sure.
you're going to eventually find a team that be like, if he goes for that fluky stuff, tear him up. And then now you ain't going to have nobody on the field. I wouldn't.
Welcome to football, right? Like, if they're going to try to hurt your guy, then it doesn't make sense. It's not. Justin's clearly giving himself up. 2 of those 3 that they've got penalized for, Justin is fully in his slide.
Yeah.
And they come through helmet to helmet and hit him.
Listen.
The first one, Justin really didn't get hit, but Buddy just fell on.
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
Buddy just fell on. I was
but
like,
the other one where you get hit, I was just like,
I don't like that, but I don't blame the refs either. I blame the league because it is the sad part is it is the flag, but it's because the league has turned it into a flag.
Yeah. It was a legal tackle at one point.
Yeah. So I think that's the tough one for me. That's the only one that I looked at as tough. But I mean, listen, it's going to work to our advantage.
You said it's going to work to our advantage. You think it should be something that we actually game plan for.
Yeah.
So let's talk about game plans and talk about the person that puts those things into play. Let's talk about Flus.
Let's do it.
I call him Matty E. I'm not calling him Eberflus.
I like Flus. Coach Flus.
I'm calling him Matty E. I'm sorry. For some odd reason,
I don't like it either.
You don't like Flus?
Flus sounds like.
We too close to Kobe for Flus to be.
It sounds like.
Sounds like floss.
Oh yeah, something like that. It just sound. It's nothing sexy about that name. I don't know why that.
Are we looking for sexy from our coaches?
We want something better than Flus.
I mean, Swaggy Nagy was out there for a while. That wasn't.
No one ever.
No one said
All the
Swaggy.
players was calling him.
Are you a 4th grader?
No one ever.
It's got a
did
rhyme, bro.
that. No one ever called him Swaggy Nagy. Did they really?
Yeah,
No,
they did.
nobody.
No, they did.
All right, listen. No.
I think Tariq and Mitch was calling him that for a little while.
Okay, come on, Mitch. I like it. You're not money making Mitch no more, dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Flus. How you feel about Flus? First game.
First game.
It's only one game.
First game. Really didn't see him get put in a position again, right? Like your coordinators do a lot of the work with the specific teams, but didn't really see him get put in a position where he had to make tough calls. Didn't see him really have to throw the challenge flag out. I mean, also, but what was the weird challenge from Shanahan on that one for like 3 yards, bro? Like that was
that didn't even change anything.
It didn't change nothing. Like
I thought it was like a first down. It was like that's just second down.
It was.
No, it was a good challenge.
It went from 2nd and 6 to 2 and 10 after the challenge. So I think it was more like a momentum thing. Like they were getting a running game going on.
And at the same time, it wasn't a completed catch. It was a good challenge.
I mean,
and Kidder was the one that pointed it out.
Yeah.
Kidder was the one that he dropped. I was confused because he definitely dropped the ball, but it was one of those where I was looking at it and I was like, well, maybe because like his knee came down first, they're saying that he was down because like I'm still confused on it. Like the ground can't force a fumble.
What are you talking about?
That's football.
Wait, you talking about
when Ryan Griffin caught that ball?
Caught the ball over his head and came down. That was a challenge.
The challenge play. He bobbled it. He never had full.
No, he had it.
He had it, but when he came
ground,
down,
he hit the elbow. But I thought the ground can't force a fumble.
It didn't. That was football. He took it, but he was still. The whole point was that they want you to have that catch all the way through.
No, I get it, but like they haven't changed the rule that a ground can't force a fumble.
That rule is so stupid.
The catch rule is so confusing, bro. Because it's like, I mean, technically his knee was down before he went out.
Because I don't know what play it was, but when they ruled that the player was down, on the fumble, I was like, no, that's a fumble. Fourth quarter, they ruled that he was down. That was a fumble.
Oh,
I forgot who was on.
That was the takeaway. That was the takeaway. That was reversed, right?
49ers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was down.
No, his knee was down.
He was down.
He was down.
He was. They showed it.
They showed him his knee was down when they stripped it.
Yeah.
But again, right? Like I think.
But in real time,
to me, that's what Flus. Yeah. Well, they got the opportunity to go back and look at it.
Yeah.
But to me, right, that's where Flus is. I'm impressed most by, right? That because I can't measure him on like, hey, did my coach make the right call here? Did my coach do that? Because while he's a part of it, he didn't get a lot of those like, let's challenge this play, let's work the reps, let's do because of the type of game that it was. The one thing that I like that I have to give him credit for is his system worked. They implemented his system, and his system at a minimum looks like it works.
You know what I give him credit for? Dang, I don't have it. There's no Denny's menu.
There's no what?
There's no Denny's menu.
Bro, I was a little nervous though. I did see him with that like piece of paper with like 87 things written on it. I was like, wait a minute.
He's not play calling. He's letting his guys do what they do.
Yeah. No.
He's not 100%. Micromanaging. That 100%. Right there, I love it. And that's all I gotta say about that. Hey, Flus, Matty, whatever you want to be called. Keep doing that.
No, and I think that's the one thing, right, that I look at and I say, he did a good job not micromanaging, but also his job is more so in the beginning of the week, during practices and stuff like that, making sure that these guys understand where they need to be. How disciplined is your football team? How disciplined to the principles that you've implemented are they? The one thing that I was looking for to see how, if guys really bought in, if they were going to be punching, because Flus's rule is you punch at every football. Because you never know when it's going to come out. Mm-hmm. No matter what, you're making it. You punch at every football. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you there was a play where they grabbed Deebo Samuel, and it looked like that scene where they were like, "Let's get it cracking, fight back, bro." I'm talking about Muggs was swinging at the ball, just get the like he's down.
He's a beast too, man. He trucks.
Hey, bro, yeah, bro. When he ran into I think because he got the run.
Did he
obliterate touchdown? Didn't he?
Didn't he obliterate Eddie Jackson?
Hey, listen,
Deebo.
Was it Eddie Jackson? He just ran through him.
Hey, listen. I said, hey, bro. Hey, you wasn't supposed to be there, bro.
That's a grown man.
And he wasn't he the one that said he wanted to be
a receiver.
A wide receiver. He wanted plays to be ran for him like.
I don't know what happened to that game plan, but I think they paid him.
Right. So he like, well, might as well run him.
Can't do it here.
I think they paid him $1 million for that. Like, it's $1 million. He gets incentives for every time they use him more as a RB than anything else, right?
I'm gonna be real with you, right? The coaching staff. I left here feeling really good about our coaching staff. At a minimum, on the point of I feel like our coaches get us here. And the sad part is we haven't been here.
Just explain what here is.
So what I mean, this is You play in the NFL. You are an NFL football team.
I mean,
I feel like we haven't been here. Like, literally, if this is a Nagy game, right, we're down 10-0 going into the half, we would have come back out in the second half and run the same stuff.
oh, yeah, I knew that part.
That's not here.
But you got to think about it.
That's here. That's down here. You're not an NFL football team because you don't have an NFL head coach that's looking at the situation and saying, hey, that don't work.
That play, the broken play, where who was that? Where Pittman, is it Pittman or Pettis?
Pettis,
Pettis.
Yes.
Where Pettis was wide open. That was a broken bootleg, right?
No, that was supposed to be a regular drop back.
And
Justin started to go right, saw a monster coming his way, and then rolled out to the left.
I don't want this smoke.
No, he ran a slant, and then the safety covered him and then let him go, and then followed Fields, so to let Pettis go back over to the side.
Yeah.
So he kind of stayed in the cut, and everybody went towards Fields, which left Pettis wide open.
No, 100%. I felt Justin did some good things in this game. I felt like
Let's call a spade, Pat. You said it earlier. A new coaching regime gets you what? 3 more games.
I said 2.
Well, guess what?
I said 2. Maybe 3, though.
Guess what?
Maybe 3.
We were 6-11 last season. We might crack 9.
I told y'all.
Well,
at this point, I don't care.
No one ever. I think all of us was thinking that they might win.
All of us were, but
8,
like
8, 9. I never thought like, oh.
Well,
I mean,
at first
they
you
got
did.
the Commanders being better than us.
I told everybody to do the same thing. At first you did,
What?
but then
We looked at the schedule.
I said, go look at who we play. I said, go look at who we play. I did the same thing to Paris. I said, Paris, how many games we win in a row? He said we win the first Packers game. Before he knew it, he had us 6-0.
I did have a 6-0. I have a 6.
You sounded like me.
Because he said we're gonna win the Packers game. You think about it, we go 2-0. Although the Giants actually looked pretty good at the end of that game. Did they win that game? They win that game. We gotta look around.
Yes,
the
they
NFL
did.
as well.
I'm
Shout out to Ringo.
Ringo's 1-0.
Ringo texted Saquon and was like, bro, you
Hey,
better come with it.
I'm going to tell you what, the Commanders, Carson Wentz threw for 4 TDs.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, all these national pundits
Oh,
that are
God.
like, they get paid so much money to do this, bro. Hey, bro, y'all just come watch our show and listen to what we say. Because we're paying attention to what's actually happening on the football field.
Yeah, I think we can, yeah.
We want to talk about Arlington?
Yeah, let's go. Let's just bring it down a little bit, man. We hey, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I feel like we have a competent coaching staff. That's all I can say. It's week 1.
On God, boom, there you go.
It's week 1.
It's early. It is early.
It's very early. I'm not going to say, Flus has got it. Because guess what? Matt Nagy won freaking Coach of the Year. I'm going to be real with you. I said this too. Nothing that happens this season to me
Matters.
plays into next season with my opinion of this coaching staff yet because of the 3rd place schedule. When you got to beat the best, that's when I want to know. Unless we go out here and like beat the Bills or we beat the Packers, I'm gonna still include them. Or we beat Minnesota. You know, like if we're beating those teams, all right, now I have a different opinion. But if we're going into week 2 making hardline statements, we found our coach and quarterback of the future. What did you watch today?
I can't say both. I can't say
either yet.
I can say that we have a better coach and that he probably has a longer leash, but I can't say we have the quarterback.
What
of the
I
future.
will say is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time the Bears have won the opening game of the season in 10 years.
I pray for you.
Yeah, because they lost with Nagy. They lost the
Nagy's
Packers
first game?
I pray for you.
Well, 60%
you were a
of the
fan
time you're
all
right
10
every
years.
time, right?
They've done studies,
I wasn't.
60% of the time it works every time. That doesn't make sense.
Absolutely, right? Like, I mean, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's been a long time since we won our opening game.
That's true. I think so.
Somebody in the chat dropped that in there, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to rock with us. 136 in the building, man. 57
9
likes. Hit
years?
that like button.
9 years?
Is it 9 years? I knew I was close.
Whew, 9 years.
Bro, we're 1-0.
I'm gonna tell you this. We're
The
1-0.
same year the Giants are.
We're 1-0. Guess what? We got a better record than Aaron Rodgers right now. Check that out.
I'll take it.
We're gonna move into something that actually matters.
Oh.
In the sense of
Actually, this is a good segue to go
because
to
of
Arlington
today's field.
because it's like this is a $1 billion, multi-billion-dollar organization or a league.
5.8. Ain't we up to
I'm
5.8?
saying the NFL as a whole, where you need to protect this product. You can't be chancing this stuff with like stats matter.
Stats matter.
You got a whole monsoon because they put this turf out here, and then you got the did you see how bad the camera was? Where the rain was so bad they couldn't even see.
Yes.
They had to draw fake lines on the.
I will say this. I will say this. I was watching the game and it was raining at my house the same way it was raining in Soldier. The cameras did not do you justice for how hard it was actually raining. Like when you saw it raining, I couldn't see my backyard. You've been in my house.
Yeah.
There's a large window right there. I couldn't see past my porch when it was raining like that.
I'm gonna say this.
That was a different kind of rain.
I don't know about you all right? Call me whatever. Say I ain't a real football fan. I don't like being wet. I didn't pay $400 to just sit there and get soggy.
I didn't even want to go to the game. I was
Listen,
offered
I'm not
tickets to
doing
go. I'm
it.
like, I'm good.
I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it.
Snapple fact: the Soldier Field does
Welcome
not
AD
allow.
back to the show.
Sorry, this Soldier Field does not allow umbrellas in the building.
Snapple fact.
Why?
Because it's probably a weapon.
It obstructs the view of other patrons.
The rain does too. Anyway, so so at this point,
Could you imagine having nosebleed seats? Like I think they're playing a football game down there.
No.
And hey, listen, hold up. Before we do that, credit. Bears fans showed out today. Bears fans showed out today. Bird Don, drop some Bird Dons in the chat. Drop some Bird Dons in the chat. Bears fans showed out today. I'm talking about Trey Lance was like. Like I was like, hey, I think he wants you to snap the ball, my boy.
when I go to a game and I'm gonna spend $300-400, I don't want to feel like I'm participating in the game.
Yeah.
I didn't go there for that.
Yeah.
No. When you go to an Olympic thing and you see them swim, do you get wet?
Here's my thing. And here's
Do you get wet?
Here's
I'm saying that's all I'm saying. No, I don't want to feel like I'm in the game. I want to sit there with my $30 beer, my $50 sandwich that you done made me pay for, and guess what?
Your soggy hot dog.
It's already expensive. Why I gotta be wet at the same time?
Here's my question.
That's what
and
she said.
This is how right I look at. This is why I say we gotta look
She's
at
asking
what's
that.
going to. What's going to relax. Relax. I'm trying to move on. I swear I am. Oh God. Here's the reason why I say I want to look at what is really important with moving to Arlington. What's the only reason people don't want to move to Arlington? AD?
Because it's outside of city limits.
Who cares?
No, okay, you said the wrong reason.
That's me.
Travel.
Because it's not Chicago.
No, bear weather.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Bear weather. That's the only thing I ever hear.
Oh, yes.
Whoa, whoa,
They're
whoa.
going to put a dome on a stadium.
Okay.
Bear weather.
Let me hear this.
I'm going to be honest with you.
The only person that say that in this room is probably, or related to it, is probably your dad.
No, it's a lot of people. That literally the players are saying that.
That's propaganda.
Brian Urlacher, all the like the,
Whoa,
the former players and stuff
Did
like
you
that.
say that one more time? That one word.
Well,
the
they're
F word.
old.
The F word. The F word right there.
Former.
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 Okay. So you mean the guys that don't get paid a check to play this game anymore?
No,
Okay, those guys. No,
100%.
never mind.
No, I'm all for the move, but like there's a lot of people that feel that way. Like AD said, it's outside of Chicago. You shouldn't put a dome on Soldier Field, or you shouldn't put a dome on a Bears
Shouldn't have
stadium.
put a spaceship on Soldier Field.
You're gonna have. There's no bear weather. I'll be real with you. I don't want to hear bear weather this week because it rained. Because you know what happened today, all day, to every Bears fan that wants the dome? We were just praying, please, Justin, it's been a long off season.
Don't die.
Don't die. Please don't get hurt because there's a swimming pool out here. They did a slip and slide after.
Great
great-
photos and great video
That was a great
from that. That's a great
photo.
scene.
Nah, yeah, that was a great
That was
photo.
great.
I'm
give
using
them
it for every win. For
They
sure.
they straight up did a slip and slide
Hey,
at the
no,
end. That's
I'm not
crazy.
gonna lie to you. That's
cold. It was
That's
cold.
a video for just the rest of Justin's career because he's the first one to do the slip and slide, jumps up and gives like the
Yeah.
as
I like
Bears is still sliding in. I'm not gonna lie.
was cold.
It's his career.
Well, they were having fun.
It's a movie.
I like they were having fun. That's good. I just think that this is business, man. Like finally, the Bears might actually understand that they have a
business,
real
man.
football team here, or like we have a team. So let's get a stadium, and we can get a Super Bowl, and now we have a campus, and we can actually enjoy hanging out.
Here's a good.
Like, have y'all ever been to Lambeau? Like, I went to Lambeau before, and it's like, the whole atmosphere around it is like you got, the Brett Favre restaurant here. Yeah, but it's the whole environment. Let's create that.
So you want like the Wrigleyville for the Bears?
Well, my thing is, you go to the Bears game right now. Parking sucks. You get in there and you pretty much just leave because you're off the lake. There's nowhere else to really go except walk around. Maybe you can walk around the edge. There's nothing to do. Then you got to walk all the way down Roosevelt, and maybe there's some stuff over there to do. But like, you kind of want to, if you want to linger, hang out, you can. It's not a tailgate.
Tailgating is not even right there.
They don't even let you tailgate.
They don't let you tailgate.
So
it's a McCormick place.
You want to make it
if you in there.
It's an experience.
Yeah, no, you can tailgate if you in there. Because literally, I wanted to go out there and throw a tailgate event, and I was like, you can't even get.
You got to go to the McCormick place.
Basically.
Yeah. No.
But it's one of those things, right? Here's what I say. The move to Arlington. There's so many things that the Bears can do. If the Bears really care that much, first off, Bear weather only works versus.
People
the
who
San
don't
Francisco 49ers.
It has to be your advantage because that's what you play in.
Hey, listen, it only works versus the San Francisco 49ers. Who did we beat in the snow? The Niners. Who did we beat in the rain? The Niners.
Retractable roof. That's the biggest. That's the greatest answer.
You don't even need a retractable roof.
No, I'm gonna be real with you though. I'm fine with retractable roof for this reason. That is an advantage. If you really have a team that's going to struggle, mostly only West Coast teams are going to struggle, right? Dude. That is an advantage, and I say this for this reason.
Pat, I love
the
you.
Milwaukee Brewers use it to their advantage.
Pat, hold on. Okay, look, man, look.
But
can we just? That's a misnomer. Peyton Manning beat us in the goddamn Super Bowl in quote unquote bear weather. We couldn't even.
No.
I'm saying bear weather, like that was a dome team. Remember,
but
dome teams
that was also Indianapolis weather too, though.
No,
it was
they
Midwest
played in the dome.
Oh.
Peyton Manning played in the dome. So we go to Miami, the first Super Bowl that actually rained, and we actually said, let's put the ball in the quarterback's hand instead of both running backs.
Well, listen. That's lovely being stupid. Like, let's not be. That was stupid.
Can I just say this? I want the best teams to have the opportunity to have a level playing field at all times. No, seriously.
I don't.
Guess what?
Miami doesn't allow that, or Miami doesn't do that. Tampa doesn't do that. Like I don't. I want to have there to be an advantage. But I also want an advantage.
Man, we've been losing so long. I don't care about no goddamn bad weather. Put a dome on that joint so I can go.
Bad weather works if you have a crazy run game because you got the fullback, running backs because you can't pass.
Yep.
That's the only benefit.
But this is the thing. I'm fine with us having a dome. But if there is an advantage to do something, use that advantage. You want to know what Miami does? Their stadium is built so that no matter what, the home team's in the shade.
Yeah.
No matter what, the home team is in the shade. The away team is always in the sun. They are baking on that sideline. And it's hot and it's humid.
How'd they do that?
They built it that way.
I'm trying to figure out the science behind it.
Yeah, but the
as well.
sun moves. so like they.
It's like I think Miami's thing like goes up and it like comes over enough that the home team is, and so like on a noon kickoff, the sun is at high noon and it's going that way.
Yeah, they probably positioned the stadium to be like north and south, so that
it's perfectly positioned. They built it that way.
Yeah. So they got
that's
all.
What I'm saying. If there's any advantage to it,
if it is north south, no matter where the sun is going, it's always going to be.
No, that's cute. Listen, no. Okay,
no. Listen, I'm saying if there's any advantage
almost cuss. Put a dome on that. Call it a day. All right, like what are we talking about here?
It's a retractable roof. If the roof closed, it's a dome.
No, just make it a stadium.
Why should it be something that breaks? And then it don't close for 20 years.
That was Minnesota.
The Metrodome? Was it the Metrodome?
Hey, wasn't that the original one? The roof caved in?
No, but that was a dome though.
Yeah, that was a dome though. Oh, no, it was retractable.
That was like a gas.
That was retractable.
They wasn't retractable. That's how they built them back in the day. Detroit.
It wasn't retractable.
They had it was like more like a helium or like some type of.
It was like a balloon.
It was like a fabric that they used for the roof back then. Now they do them a whole lot different now.
Oh wow. Weirdos.
Well, we're talking about other stadiums. Go around the league real quick.
Let's go around the league real quick, man. Let's finish it out around the league, man. Kid, give us some of the numbers around the league. What are some of the dubs? What are some of the L's? What's your surprise game?
Yeah,
man?
I ain't got no surprise game. I did exactly what I said I was gonna do. I'm doing this because that guy's right there.
Oh, by the way, hey AD, great job not trading for Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray had one of the worst games.
Hey, great job.
And
not
still
trading
came
Kyler
out
Murray.
5 points ahead of Justin Fields.
Great job. Not
With
trading
less
Kyler Murray.
touchdowns.
Hey,
How'd that work out?
How's that? Because he runs.
His coach lets him. How about that? Anyway, Patrick Mahomes had a career day before. I mean, he had 5 TDs for the day with no Tyreek Hill. Looks like he'll be just fine. They obliterated their team. Who'd they play again? They played the Cardinals. Yeah, that didn't work out too well. Hold on, I'm tweaking over here. I wanted to get to some real stats with Carson Wentz because him putting up 4 TDs and 313 yards is something. I didn't have him doing that. Who picked him up in fantasy?
He's probably still out there.
I don't know. Carson might still
Carson
be
might
out
still
there.
be out there.
Eagles beat Detroit, so Don Burr's probably feeling good about his team.
I didn't see him today.
38-35.
Oh, that's a good game.
Eagles beat Detroit 38-35.
Are the Eagles that good, or is the Lions
the
that?
most important ones are the ones in our division, so we very well didn't look at them.
It's more surprising that the Lions put up 35 points than the fact that.
Listen, I give credit to the Lions, man. I mean, they did what they had to do, and they ran their game plan the way that they knew they were going to run it. 21 for 37 is Jared Goff, 215 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, QBR of 80. DeAndre Swift.
The Browns won today?
144 rushing yards.
Get that man.
3 receptions for 31 yards. No touchdowns.
Julio Jones.
Well, you said the Browns?
No, Detroit.
Oh, who
Swift.
won that? I wanted to see who won that Panthers and Browns game. I didn't look that up.
The Browns won
26-24.
on a field goal.
They were cracking how like Baker Mayfield does what Baker Mayfield does, where he throws the ball to other players.
Yeah, he threw a pick that first.
Did he?
Like his first throw of the game, he threw a pick.
That sucks.
Baker had a decent game. Yeah, he had a Baker game. 16 for 27, 235 yards, 1 pick, 1 interception, 4 sacks.
I mean, Baker's not a elite QB, but he's not a scrub either. So I mean,
He's
he's 15 to 20, I think. I mean,
no, that's a Baker game.
He's somewhere. To me, he's somewhere between Goff and what's the guy that they traded for Goff?
I think he's a little better than
Stafford?
Goff though.
Yeah, he's somewhere between Goff and Stafford.
I can see that.
I don't know.
That's
Stafford?
a long
That's a
way,
long gap, dog.
That's
What?
I said somewhere between, in the middle.
It's a lot. That's a lot of space in between, my G.
But if you think about it, it's a lot of guys who play, or the quarterbacks that play better than Stafford are elite.
Hey, bro.
But the ones that play less than Goff are out of
You
league.
just named like half the league. Anyway, Saints and Falcons had a close one, 27-26. Jameis Winston going out there, no INTs. Look at that. LASIK really worked for him.
Hey,
269 and 2 TDs. I like
Jameis
that.
was balling.
Jameis was balling. Hey, Taysom Hill doing what Taysom Hill does. 4 carries, 81 yards. And a touchdown. I don't know.
What is his official position? Is it backup or is he a
Taysom Hill?
Whatever you
Yes.
want
He's
to
a
do.
backup. He's their backup.
Okay.
He just can do everything.
My favorite game today, outside of the Bears, Pittsburgh beating the Bengals in one of the weirdest games you'll ever see. I think there were 3 field goals that were missed. 2, one was blocked, 1 was missed, and then the other one, there's 3, right?
It was 3. Yeah. In
Good Lord.
overtime.
In overtime. Mitch not having a Mitch day.
No, Mitch played well.
Mitch played well, had some command, nearly 20 yards, 1 TD. I think he could have did a little better on that one, but the Bengals defense was actually showing up and showing out. Joey B, 4 INTs.
Looked really bad and then looked really good.
I don't know you know what? He had a Carson Wentz day.
He had a very Carson Wentz day.
He threw it for 50 times.
He's been out. He was hurt.
Who?
You said Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow wasn't out.
Didn't he
was
hurt
he
his
hurt?
knee?
No.
2 years ago before he
No,
went to
they
the
were.
Super Bowl.
Wasn't he like kind of not? Wasn't he not necessarily practicing and playing in the preseason?
Well, it showed.
I think
Was
he just
he
wasn't
gimpy?
playing.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't playing. Like he just
It showed.
right. Like
Because he had 4 of them things, and two of them I saw. I was like, ooh, that's bad.
Yeah, it
it
was
doesn't- the
That's
first
real
week or
bad.
2 don't matter because they're trying to get their. This is their actual practice. They haven't really played, but maybe one game.
I used to believe that, but then it's like you only get 17 games.
Yeah, but after the first game or 2, then they finally get into their rhythm.
Yeah.
They have a tougher schedule this year, though. A much tougher
Hey,
schedule.
people were sleeping on the Bengals in the first place even last year. Matter of fact, we beat them last year.
You ain't
and then they
sleeping
went
on
a
them
run.
now. You ain't sleep on him now. That's why you got 4 INTs.
I'm just not sleeping on Joey B.
That's
Joey B, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon is a heck of a combo right there.
They were probably just rusty. That's all.
Tua actually had a decent game, a really good game. 270 yards, 1 TD.
Hey,
Tua was throwing that thing. I see. I still don't believe in him.
I looked at Tua, bro.
I still don't believe. I
don't believe in nothing that man brings, bro. His game looked terrible.
He played for Alabama. It's the biggest clout chase
his game
in the world.
Yo, Tyreek Hill looked great. You want to know how I say that? 8 yards, 8 receptions, 94 yards. He did good.
What was his longest reception, though?
I don't know. He's average.
I mean, that's the thing you got to look at, right? Like if it's for 94 yards and he got like a 64-yard reception.
No, it's 94 yards. He had 8 receptions.
Yeah, so he barely got.
Oh, you're trying to say what's the longest and divided down?
10 or 17, probably.
I don't know.
Let me see, because I think I got that on here. I ain't gonna lie to you, because that'd be telling like it's his longest reception. Oh yeah, that's right. 26 yards. So
not bad.
Not a bad game.
Not bad.
Good game. Jalen Waddle, 69 yards. Nice.
Matt Ryan had a decent game, 352 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT. Tied game, first tie of the season. I don't understand why we have ties in football.
Because they don't want to keep going to overtime if it's 2 bad teams.
I guess.
I thought that's what we were heading towards with Pittsburgh, too.
Yeah, I guess. Ravens won. Lamar Jackson out there, 213 yards, 3 TDs, 1 INT. Out there on that, not without the deal. Without the deal, that's a big thing for me. That man, I wouldn't be playing football if I was him. I don't care what nobody say. Like, no, the way he plays, no. That money guaranteed. Hey, let's work this out.
Yeah, but if they want to franchise, well, they offered him over 200. The thing
290.
The thing is, he wants 350.
No, he wants more guaranteed money.
No, he wants 3. He wants to be over 3.
That's stupid.
It's on him. Listen, it's his decision.
That's stupid.
It's 110% his decision. His decision why he doesn't have a contract. He wants over 3.
If you go out there and you have a mediocre season, you now give them more leverage to offer you less. Now, today's price, or yesterday's price is not today's price. That works both ways.
Hey, listen.
And you are putting yourself in harm's way every time. Nah, that's stupid. I don't know who
yesterday's price is today's price. If he stays 100%, it isn't today's price. If he stays 100% healthy and has another MVP type season, yesterday's price ain't today's price. That 290 looking a lot like 350.
What's the likelihood of that?
They would pay him 350.
What's the likelihood that he has an MVP season?
I mean, he had an MVP caliber season last season.
He's not all right. All the QBs that started today, he ain't coming out looking. Tua put up technically better stats than him.
Didn't he have 3 touchdowns?
Was it 2? Did he have 3?
He had 3 touchdowns. He had 215 passing yards. How many rushing yards?
Patrick Mahomes had 3 at halftime.
How many? Well, I mean,
210 yards, 213 yards.
How many
rushing yards? 17.
Wow, really stayed in the pocket.
Weird. You see what happens when you stay in the pocket?
Weird.
So when you stay in the pocket, listen, I got to go look at the game.
Throw some touchdowns.
I got to go look at the game. But I'm going to be honest with you. He's not. I highly doubt that he comes out this season as the MVP.
I love GCA's comment. He said, Lamar might be a Miami Dolphin next year.
Hey, for real.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that. That would put the Miami Dolphins in a much different conversation. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us as always, man. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We'll be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. I will be back in the regular stew breaking down kind of some of the press conferences, what some of the players were talking about, how they felt about today's game, blah, 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 all that and more. I mean, listen, y'all got anything else to drop? Any other news? Anything else y'all want to break down?
Go Bears.
Bears get a dub. Week 1.
Victory Monday. Victory Monday.
It's a Victory Monday coming up, baby. Let me get them Bear Downs in the chat, man.
How many of these are we going to have?
How many Victory Mondays?
Yeah, how many Victory Mondays?
We should look.
I said 9.
Why don't we look at the schedule next week and we'll break that down.
Based off of how every team looked their first couple games?
Yeah.
I got you.
Are we doing an overreaction Monday? What's your biggest overreaction before we get out here? Biggest overreaction?
Offense is complete trash.
Not for the Bears, just in the NFL in general.
Oh.
Biggest overreaction from week 1.
Aaron Rodgers is done.
Aaron Rodgers.
That's your
For
overreaction.
sure.
Jesus Christ.
sure.
He's done?
Yeah, that's overreaction.
You're not lying.
Right, that's an overreaction.
Hey, you said overreaction. I don't know if you think like, do I believe it or do I just what am I hearing?
I was saying, do you believe it? Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Burns said this is the new time slot, Pat. Yes. So how the lives are going to work now, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will be live at 7 p.m. Monday, we will be in the studio, in this studio, but this week, Muzz got stuff going on Monday, so we won't be here.
I tell you what's not an
Monday
overreaction. Kirk Cousins had a better game.
We'll see if that holds up.
Hey, Kirk Cousins is overreaction that I actually believe Vikings could win the division.
Nah. That's overreaction. That's pretty good.
I'll tell you what.
Aaron, it got people who can't catch.
I don't think
They're gonna get it together.
I'll say this. I don't think Detroit will. I don't think the Bears will. And the Packers showed me at a minimum today
that they not.
They did this
they
last
can't.
year.
Not this
No.
bad. No. They can't.
Remember when
no,
he said
Joe,
relax?
No, Joe.
They can't
no, 100%
catch.
for sure. No, but did you see today's game?
They can't catch.
Like, this is the thing. Like, they're relying on young dudes. They can't catch. That's my overreaction.
I think they'll be all right.
Baki said his overreaction is the Packers wide receivers are going to bounce back.
All right, Baki, I'll holler at you.
well, selfishly, I just want him to
You
do
just
well
want
in my
Allen
fantasy.
Lazard to do well.
No, I just
They
want
ain't
my-
got no choice
I just
because they ain't
want my
gonna be
fantasy
there.
team to do well.
Hey, listen.
He gonna fire them in
Listen,
midfield.
mid-season,
Hey,
Aaron
you
Rodgers-
right there.
Aaron
Grab your
Rodgers
helmet.
finna LeBron
Yeah.
somebody this year, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. To continue watching our Chicago Bears content, click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below.
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord, yeah. Check out the Discord links in the description, all that good stuff, man. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.